Welcome back to online English class. This is level 1, lesson 16, which starts on May 27th. This is part 3, so this is the last video in lesson 16. In this video, we are going to learn irregular past tense. You are probably watching this video between May 27th and June 7th. This video was filmed on May 24th, 2020. So today we're working with the guide to past tense. If you need this paper and this paper, they are on my website. So what you do is you go to your class, go to week 7, lesson 13, guide to past tense. And here it is. There are 2 pages. This is the first page, the guide to past tense. And then the second page is the list of irregular verbs. So today we're going to learn a lot of these irregular verbs. So a very quick review. There are 4 rules to past tense. Step number 1. Is the verb on the list of irregular verbs? Yes or no? Only irregular verbs are here. This list is only for irregular verbs. So if it's here, you use the word. If it is not there, we say no. Then we go to number 2. Number 2, does the verb end with the letter Y? Yes or no? Number 3, does the verb end with the letter E? Yes or no? So today, we are going to practice number 1. Is the word on the list of irregular verbs? So we're going to start with the most important verbs. The first one is to be. In to be, we have am and are and is. So I am, you are, he is, she is, it is, we are, they are. So this is in present tense. In past tense, we have was and were. I was, she was, he was, it was. We are, you are, we were, you were, they were. So this is in present and this is in past. And now let's talk about the negatives. The negatives are not, the no's. So with was and were, we change it to was not. Or we can say wasn't. Were not becomes weren't. So let's write examples with these words. We can say she wasn't at work. She wasn't at work. They weren't at the store. These are negatives. We use these for no's or not. We can say she was not at work or they were not at the store. Or we can say wasn't or weren't. Same thing. Now we have the verbs. We have the verbs do, have, make, and go. Do, have, make, and go. These are all very important and common words. We use these words every day. So this is the present tense. Let's write them in the past tense. And we can use the guide to past tense. So because today we are only using irregular verbs, so we already know that these verbs are irregular. So we do rule number 1. These are all irregular verbs. So we will use the list of irregular verbs. All of these verbs are in the important section. They're all right here. So we have do. Do is present. In the past, we say did. Have. Have is present. Past is had. Make. Make, present. Past, made. Go. Go. Went. So our first sentence is I do the laundry. I do the laundry. This means I wash the clothes. I do the laundry means I wash the clothes. So let's write this sentence in past tense. I, and then we change the verb do from present to past. So we say did. I did the laundry. So this sentence, I do the laundry, is in present tense. It's now. I did the laundry is in past tense. It happened already. It happened maybe yesterday or last week. But this is in the past. So present, past. Okay, so when we ask a question, we use the word do. So if I have a question, I can ask, do you wash the car? Do you wash the car? When we ask a question, we use the word do. Do you wash the car? In past tense, we change do to did. The verb after did stays the same. So in this sentence, this is verb number 1 and this is verb number 2. 1, 2. We only change the first verb. The first verb is do. So we change do to did. The verb after did, wash, stays the same. So we write it the same. Did you wash the car? In present tense, we say, do you wash the car? In past tense, we say, did you wash the car? Now, for negative sentences. Negative sentences are when we say no or not. For negative sentences, we use don't or doesn't. In the past tense, we change don't or doesn't to didn't. In the present, we use don't and doesn't. In the past, we only use didn't. The verb after didn't stays the same. So in the present tense, we say, I don't wash the car. I don't wash the car. In past tense, we changed the don't to didn't. I didn't wash the car. Let's do one more. Do you do the homework? Do you do the homework? When we have a question, we use the word do. Do you do the homework? Let's change this to past tense. So this is verb number 1, and this is the verb that goes after. So it's number 2. We only change verb number 1. So we change do to did. Did you? Verb number 2 stays the same. So we say do. Did you do the homework? In present tense, we say, do you do the homework? In past tense, we say, did you do the homework? Now, we can say, yes, I did. This sentence is in past tense because we use did. Did you do the homework? Yes, I did. We're using this word to go here. Did you do the homework? Yes, I did. Let's talk about no. I didn't. We use didn't for negative sentences. So for no sentences, we use didn't. I didn't do the homework. I didn't do the homework. Okay, so we were working on the important verbs to be, to do, have, make, and go. So now we're going to work on perception. Perception is what you can sense. So you can see, you can hear, you can listen, you can look, you can taste, you can feel. All of these words are things you can sense. So all of these words, I wrote them together in perception. Perception just means something you can sense. You can see it, you can look at it, or you can hear it. Okay, so we have tell and say. In present tense, we have tell. In past tense, we have told. Say, said. Write, wrote. Okay, so let's do say first. Say becomes said, S-A-I-D. The way you pronounce this word is S-E-D, said. Say, said. In present tense, we have write. In past tense, we have wrote. W-R-O-T-E. Wrote. And then we have read. 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 In past tense, the word is the same, but we say this word different. In past tense, we say read. In present tense, it is read. In past tense, it is read. read, read. Oops, that's an N. Think, think. Dot, dot. Think, dot. Don't worry about spelling, because in level 1, the spelling for these words is not important. If you spell it incorrect, it's okay. It's okay. And let's see, we have see. You can see with your eyes. But in the past tense, saw. See, saw. An easy way to remember this is if you have children and they go to the playground, there is this thing they can play on in the playground where there's 2 children on a seesaw. This is called a seesaw in the playground. So in present, we say see. In past, saw. Let's do here. In present tense, we say hear. In past tense, we say heard. And then we have know. Know. Do you know something? If you know something, you understand the information. Know. K-N-O-W. Know. In past tense, we say knew. New. Like when you go shopping, maybe you buy something new. In the present tense, we say no. In the past tense, we say new. And then the last word for today is understand. Understand. In past tense, we say under stood. Understand, understood. Okay, so the irregular verbs we learned today are in this group. Perception. We have tell, told, say, said, write, wrote, read, read, think, thought, look, looked, see, saw, listen, listened, hear, heard, smell, smelled, taste, tasted, feel, felt, know, knew, understand, understood. Okay, now I'm going to do one more practice. So in the student book, I'm on page 50. Page 50 is part of Unit 4, Health. We are going to read this story, and then we will write the story in past tense. So let's read the story. And when I read the story, I'm going to color the verbs in green. The doctor's office. Poor Maria. Everyone is sick. The word is a verb. Can you see green? Yeah, you can see that, okay. Maria and her children are in the doctor's office. Let me turn on my light. Her son, Luis, has a sore throat. Her daughter, Rosa, had a stomach ache. Her baby, Gabriel, has an earache. Maria doesn't have a sore throat. She doesn't have a stomach ache. And she doesn't have an earache. But Maria has a very bad headache. So, let's change all of these verbs to past tense. Okay, the first sentence, everyone is sick. Everyone is sick. The verb is. So let's change this to past tense. Is. Number one, is the word is on the list of irregular verbs? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. Here, is part of to be. The past tense of is, we say, was. So we can change this to was. Everyone was sick. Okay. Maria and her children are in the doctor's office. The verb is are. So what's the past tense of the verb are? Were. Present are, past were. Maria and her children were in the doctor's office. Her son Luis has. Has. What is the past tense of the verb has? Well, is the word has irregular? Yes. Has. The past tense of has is had. Same thing with have. Have becomes had. Has, had. Have, had. Her son, Luis, had a sore throat. Her daughter, Rosa, had a stomach ache. Her baby, Gabriel, had an earache. Maria doesn't have a sore throat. This sentence is negative. We know because we have the word doesn't. So we know when we have a negative word, we only change the word doesn't to didn't. The verb after doesn't stays the same. So we still say have. Didn't have. Maria didn't have a sore throat. She didn't have a stomach ache. And she didn't have an earache. But Maria had a very bad headache. Okay, that is the end of lesson 16. I want you to study the guide to past tense and the list of irregular verbs. So right now, in lesson 16, you need to know the important verbs and the perception verbs. So this section and this section, you need to learn these words. Okay? Thanks for watching. Bye.